One fairly unique thing about Muhammad Ali is that he moves and throws his jab at the same time, right? Usually when people are fighting combat sports, really that any that have a jab, they're planted and they kind of step into it and go. Muhammad Ali, what he does is he dances around you, moving in and out on you, and then he starts throwing that jab, right? But he does it while he's in motion, and because he does it while he's in motion, he's really doing it from all kinds of weird, bizarre angles and weird, bizarre timing that you don't expect, because usually people throw this, like I said, from a more grounded, rooted position in their stance, not so much on the move. And you know, when Ali starts throwing the jab and starts hitting, man, he's going to start throwing that feint jab behind it. And he's so killer with the feint jab. I think this is one of his best fights that you're watching right here. This is versus Cleveland Williams. And if you watch, you know, Muhammad Ali starts getting that jab going, and then he's going to start feinting it and going low and high, feinting low, going high with the jab, feinting high, going low. He's just dancing around and he's faking and he's making you think, and you're getting so frustrated because you're missing and he's dancing around you, and you know everyone's watching and this guy's bouncing around and you just don't look very cool. So anyone out there copying the boxing style of Muhammad Ali, make sure you master the moving jab, and equally important is mastering the feint jab off of the moving jab. You start hitting the moving jab, then you can start feinting, and then things really start to open up. The check hook it really fits in perfectly with the style that Muhammad Ali does, dancing around, bouncing, moving and grooving. It's kind of, there's two ways to think about a check hook, right? Usually you do it, you move backwards as someone comes in at you. You kind of check them as they come in. The other way it can be done is you throw it off of a pivot. So when you pivot, you throw the check hook at the same time. So that way you kind of pivot out of the way and you get to knock him at the same time. So either way, you check him as he comes in, or he's coming in and you pivot off of the hook, right? You pivot off and you get away and make an angle. Leaping left hook, different from the check hook, right? When the check hook is being used, that's when you're coming in, the opponent's coming in at you. The leaping left is where you are on the attack now. You are literally kind of shuffling and jumping forwards as you throw that left, because you need to use that leap forwards in order to cover the distance. The left hook isn't very long by itself. You got to kind of jump in with it, leaping forward in order to land it. I mean, like all great boxers, right? Like all great champions before him, Muhammad Ali has a killer cross. And definitely one thing to worry about when facing Ali and his cross is if you're chasing him, you're kind of walking into this thing. You know, in the martial arts, there's this core philosophy of use their force against them, right? Judo does this, jiu-jitsu does this. In striking, I can think of no better example of using their force against them than nailing them with a cross as they were chasing you, right? As they were moving in, because it makes it so that the force is much more amplified, right? It's like two trains coming together. Not only does he get hit by my power, but the actual action of him moving in, right? Him moving into it increases the power. So one move that Muhammad Ali does